What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're covering some more Am I the Butthole? If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as it all really helps out our channel. Now, yesterday we did have a new member, and we also had a rejoin from VMin. Thank you so much. And the new member was Kerry Botriel Baxter. Thank you so much for your support and for everyone for taking the time out of your days to be here. Incredible level support. And with that being said, let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for refusing to let my sister use my son's yacht for her wedding? My son Thomas passed away a year ago at the age of 25. He was such a sweet soul. He was kind and sympathetic. Despite having suffered so much, he still had a joyful smile. He wanted to be an engineer, but unfortunately, he couldn't continue his education. He was involved in a car accident, had a severe injury and became paralyzed. I did everything I could to help him regain his life, but what happened was devastating. We were spending time at the hospital while my family were getting together, celebrating birthdays and weddings, etc., and excluding me and Thomas. I asked them to show up, at least show emotional support to Thomas, but they didn't visit. I took Thomas home and I became his primary carer. I found that Thomas was home 24/7 with no family visiting us, even on holidays. Every time I complained, my sister would suggest I put Thomas in home care. I stopped begging them to visit and include Thomas in their events and check in on him. They treated Thomas like he was dead. He suffered from anemia. It affected his heart function. His health was getting worse. 4 months before he passed away, I decided to achieve at least one goal he'd had in his mind. He always wanted to get his own yacht and wanted to buy it himself. I sold land I had for 5 years and I bought a yacht. I told him that this was his. He was overjoyed. We started spending most of this time there, on weekends and on holidays, till he suddenly passed away, and it was devastating. I couldn't visit the yacht till 6 months after his passing. This is where I remember him the most. My family visited, made Facebook tributes, hung pictures of him and visited his grave. I was still upset with them. I kept my distance, but last week my mother and sister were visiting, asking if they could use my son's yacht for my sister's wedding this summer. I declined, but they talked about how expensive it is to rent a yacht and that mine was perfect. I corrected my sister, told her that that's Thomas's yacht. Thomas, who they refused to visit and comfort during his dark times. My sister denied all and said she didn't come to talk about the past, that as her brother, I should help out. I argued with her and my mother after they said I was declining out of spite and called me selfish to punish them for Thomas's death. My brother said I was wrong because the family is keeping his memory alive by talking about him and that I should get therapy, otherwise I'll be causing people to cut me out. I'm sorry if anyone got confused. I'm his father. I'm sorry, I should have included that earlier. Now I feel OP in this situation is absolutely justified to feel this way in the situation that they cut Thomas out all that time ago, didn't visit him, didn't show him any support whatsoever. Now suddenly they come crawling back because there's a wedding going on and they want to use the yacht. I mean, what kind of logic is that? Who thinks like that and does that kind of thing? And in some ways I'm like, so what if OP is doing it out of spite? It's justified spite in my opinion, you know what I mean? Oh dear, man. But Batman Boy 88 says, OP, if they did not visit once while he had all this, say, fine, you can use his yacht as many times you visit him during that time. Not the arsehole, by the way. And Reader Girl says, not the arsehole for this, very sorry for your loss, but you might benefit from therapy for you, not to appease your family. And Order 66 says, not the arsehole, and quotes, they talked about how expensive it is to rent a yacht and that mine was perfect. I corrected my sister, told her that's Thomas's yacht. Thomas, who they refused to visit and comfort during his dark times. My sister denied all that and said she didn't come to talk about the past and that as her brother I should help out. I argued with her and my brother after they said I was declining out of spite. And then says, so what if you are declining out of spite? She contributed negatively to your son's last few weeks. She is lucky you aren't agreeing to it, only to sell the yacht a day before. And Demonic Symphony says, not the arsehole. These people only support you if they want something. Might be time to go low or just completely no contact. My heart goes out to you. Now, what would you do if you was in OP's situation? How would you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story does contain an update after it, and it's from Forrest Wilson called "Am I the arsehole for telling my girlfriend I'd like her to dress up more when we go out? I, 32 male, began dating my girlfriend, 26 female, in February of last year. Just a few weeks later we went into lockdown, so we did not go out many places before we had to all have our dates at our houses. In July, we moved in together. She works from home, so she wears joggers and yoga pants and big hoodies or sweaters all day, which is fine. However, now that restrictions in our area are beginning to lift, we are going out more, and she is still wearing what I consider loungewear to go out. We went to a nice restaurant with our friends, and everyone else was dressed semi-formal, and my girlfriend was wearing leggings with a hole in them and a sweater with a stain on it. She also dresses in these sort of clothes for dinners with my family. I tried to be subtle and offered to take her clothes shopping, but she said no. So I was a bit more direct and told her we should get some nice clothes for her to go out in, and again, she said no. So I finally had to tell her that I felt uncomfortable and slightly embarrassed when we go out, and her attire didn't match what was appropriate for the venue. I made sure to tell her that I don't mind her wearing yoga pants, joggers and hoodies, but when she went out, she should try to look a bit more presentable. She began screaming at me and told me if I was so embarrassed by her, I didn't have to take her anyway. She even went as far to tell me that I should just sleep with my best friend's girlfriend if I found her so disgusting. I never wanted to insult her personally, I just wanted to suggest that she saves the comfy clothes for home and dress up a little when we go out in public. Am I the arsehole? ETA, she does not have any anger issues. Her response to this was incredibly off character for her, which is why I'm asking if I'm the arsehole here. Now, there is many paths we can go down with this one. We can go down mental health issues, because quarantine has messed up a lot of people, and it's playing mind games with so many people right now, and I totally understand where everyone's coming from. It's affected my own mental health as well. So she may be just feeling down from this whole thing. And I read an article, not on Reddit, the other day about sort of gaining lockdown weight, because I'm trying to do a bit of exercise myself, because I find myself just occasionally, like when I'm working at home, just snacking on rubbish all day sometimes, and it's not great. And so I was reading the articles about sort of lockdown weight, and it's happening to so many people, and a lot of people are worried about it at the same time. So I do wonder, could it be down that route as well, and then leading on to possible mental health issues as well. If her snapping at you was that off character, it could be something like that. And I'm just throwing ideas out there because I don't truly know. We ain't going to know till the update, right? But we'll get some comments from this one to see what they say, and then we'll move on to the update. So we had TN Scatterbrains here, not the arsehole. I'm all for comfort and body autonomy, but I love leggings and yoga pants. But you generally don't wear stuff with holes or stains when everyone else is dressing up unless you have no choice. Unless there's an actual dress code. Comfortable casual is okay, but it seems like she's taking it a bit far. But there's never a great way to tell someone this. Yeah, and I totally didn't think of a solution to the actual problem, but I think OP is right in, bringing this up and talking about the matter, because if it is off character for your girlfriend to be doing this, then it needs to be discussed. And the only way, you need to bring it up in some form. And I don't think the way OP approached it was offensive. He wasn't attacking, he brought it up in the most subtle way possible. Is that a way of putting it, maybe? Yeah, that's the only way I can think of it. But yeah, next comment. And PR Mink says, no one's an arsehole here. Admittedly, I'm looking at this through my own quarantine lens. It's sadly been long since we've been able to go out. I've lost the will to dress up, just completely lost it. Maybe it's depression. It's almost like I forgot how to dress normally for going out in some sort of way. The quarantine weight gain isn't helping matters either. My sense is that it's going to take some time to adjust what used to be normal, the same way it took time to adjust to quarantine in the first place. Give it some time, be patient. I bet she pulls it together when she has a more established post-quarantine routine. And Throwaway says, no one's an arsehole here, you're not the arsehole, but going to nice dinners in stained and ripped clothes signals a possible mental health issue. Could she be really depressed? I used to be someone who wore a full face of makeup, hair extensions, jewelry, dresses, heels, nail polish, etc. daily. I now can sometimes barely manage to brush my hair. I don't feel like myself, and I think it's possibly stress/depression from this shit year. I'm personally going to seek therapy. And now we're going to move on to the update to see what that says, and hopefully it's a good ending. So update, am I the arsehole for telling my girlfriend I'd like her to dress up when we go out? I'd like to say thank you to everyone who commented. This community may very well have saved my relationship. I spoke to my girlfriend. First, I apologised to her, then I told her she seemed to get uncharacteristically upset at the comment I made, and if there's anything else she'd want to talk about. It took a bit of coaxing, but eventually she opened up to me and told me that she gained weight during quarantine and felt uncomfortable in her body. She said she didn't want to buy new clothes because she felt embarrassed admitting to me that she was a larger size now, but she didn't like the way her old clothes looked on her. I told her, honestly, that to me she still looked as beautiful as when we began dating, and that I had not noticed her fluctuating weight. We had began a workout regime at home. It's like CrossFit, but the workouts are only 15 to 20 minutes, so we do one in the morning and one at night. We've also sadly cut all the junk food in our house. It sucks, but luckily she's a really good cook and makes zucchini pasta and kale chips not suck. She said it's too soon to see a difference, but I personally think she already looks like she's getting leaner. To answer a question a lot of people were asking about the comment she made about why I don't go to sleep with my best friend's girlfriend, no, I did not tell her I wish you dressed more like X or anything like that. Her ex cheated on her and slept with his friend's girlfriend. I guess when she got upset, it's just something she jumped to saying. Again, thanks for all your great advice. And that is what we like to see on this channel, a wholesome ending once in a while. You know, we don't see it very often, and when we do, it's like a treat. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think of this story? What do you think about this ending? Do you have a different opinion on the matter? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from Universal Showdown. Am I the arsehole for waking my girlfriend up with my morning routine? I'm 21 male and my girlfriend is 20 female. We have dated over 2 years and lived together over 1. My girlfriend and I both work full time. She has work from home right now and I work outside of home. She works 8 till 5, I work 5:30 AM till 2:30 PM. This past few months we've had morning arguments because she says my routine wakes her up. I get up significantly earlier than her, about 3 hours before she wakes up, and she is not a morning person. Here are her issues. My dad works at the same place as me, so usually he will text me in the morning to make sure I'm awake. He will keep texting until I answer or eventually call. I keep my phone's volume all the way up so I can hear. A lot of times I don't answer within the first time, and by the second text, my girlfriend wakes up. Then there are alarms. I snooze them a lot because I set them early, so when I wake up, I know I have some time to sleep still. These usually wake her up too, it's just a part of my routine. She's a very light sleeper and has trouble going back to sleep once she is up. She gets so angry with me when this happens because she says she's exhausted. She's in college too, so she's up late doing homework, usually despite having to get up and work the next day as well. We've tried a few solutions like her wearing headphones or an alarm clock that turns the light on, and it still doesn't help either of us. She thinks I'm an arsehole because I just won't get up when my alarm goes off or my dad texts me. She says that would solve all our issues and that I'm an arsehole for not doing that simple solution so she can get a bit of sleep. I say she needs to learn to live with my routine. Am I the arsehole here? Now dude, of course this is your problem, it's your routine, and she said she'd be absolutely fine if you got up on the first time the alarm goes off or the first time your phone goes off, but you don't want to do it. You snooze several times, so you're waking her up multiple times, which is ridiculous, and I totally get that feeling. I love that feeling of setting an alarm like an hour before, waking up, then falling back to sleep, but you're with a partner, you have to respect the other person in the situation. And for real dude, you're an adult. Stop your dad texting you in the morning. Wake yourself up. It's part of adulthood. I mean, your girlfriend even tried to compromise by wearing headphones. There's no way I'd be able to sleep in a pair of headphones, and she even went through that trouble for you. You're still just saying she needs to get you too used to your routine rather than the other way round. Wow, man. Yes, you're going to be the arsehole in this situation. I guarantee that. And Rusa from the east side says, you're the arsehole. She slept with headphones on so that you could snooze your alarm a few times. Literally sleeping with headphones. Also, you can have multiple alarms to wake you up. Can you imagine the discomfort of sleeping with headphones just so you can enjoy a couple of 10 minutes of sleep? Just wake up when your alarm goes off and put your dad's text on silent if he's going to be texting so much in the morning. ETA, thank you all for the upvotes and rewards. Because so many of you have pointed this out, I wanted to add to my comment so that everyone can see this little gem of a link at the top. This is not the first time OP was an arsehole on Reddit. Let's take a look at this little link. And it says, am I the arsehole for not planning anything for my girlfriend's birthday? Now, I don't think we need to read that story to know who the arsehole is in this situation, but it sort of says about the attitude of OP. Take a step back, reevaluate your life, because you've been a double arsehole. And then famous Buzz B says, you're the arsehole. You've spoken about all your problems, some of which are legit. You haven't explained why they should be her problem though. So I'll give you a hint, they aren't. You need to adapt your routine so it's not hurting the people around you. That involves training yourself to get up with minimal alarms. Certainly not snoozing everything because you can't be asked to shift yourself. You should care about your girlfriend's sleep, it's important for her health. If you don't care about her well-being, perhaps you should reconsider the relationship. If you keep showing her that you don't care about her health and well-being and are happy to have lots of alarms that wake her up, I guarantee that she will reconsider this relationship. Imagine instead if she kept you up for 2.5 hours each night when you're trying to sleep, and instead of changing her habits told you that you need to learn to live with her routine. And one more comment, the world is not quiet says you're the arsehole, you're an adult, get your dad to stop texting and calling you in the morning. You don't need the backup, you are getting up. Also, maybe just set one alarm for the morning and then get up, out of the room as quickly and quietly as possible. Plus you say she needs to get used to your routine, but she probably can't if there's a recurring source of conflict. Try and be more considerate of her. Now, I turn this one to you guys. What would you do if your partner was acting like this and keeping you up like during the night? How would you feel and how would you act in the situation? I know some of you people are just going to blow off the handle. Let me know in the comments below. Now, our next story comes from Jane Doe 10. Am I the arsehole for not calling up my ex-girlfriend after her boyfriend passed away? Mandatory throwaway account. So a little bit of backstory. I, 26 female, am gay. My ex-girlfriend, let's call her Anne, 26 female, is supposedly straight. She had a friend, let's call him Rick, 28 male, who was a family friend of hers and one of our mutual friends. Anne and I were previously involved in a pretty long-term relationship, 6 years. Anne had always mentioned from the beginning that she believes she's gay and she really likes me, and so we had gotten involved. Things were really good for the first 2 years or so, but soon started deteriorating. Anne started cheating on me, repeatedly with other guys. I always got to know of these incidents from her friends, but whenever I confronted her and told her that if she's straight she can always separate and be with the guy she likes, she always insisted that she really is gay and it was the guy hidden on her and pressuring her and was a mistake. I did not believe her, but I could not get over her either. Let's just say the last 4 years of our relationship were full of frequent quarrels, making up and even more quarrels. If I wanted to separate, she wouldn't let me and neither would she stop cheating. After a long time, I finally had it, and we had a brutal separation, where things had got very heated. Just a month after our separation, I get to know from one of my friends that Anne is dating Rick now, and mind you, she had told me that he's one of the guys not to worry about. I was furious, but still never contacted her again, because I was absolutely done with her, and never again wanted to hear from her at all. Fast forward to a few weeks back, I got a terrible news that Rick had passed away in a drowning incident. I felt horrible because even though we were not on good terms, I knew the guy. I couldn't believe the news and texted Anne to ask if it's true. I gave my condolences and that was it. Anne then called me up a few days later and started screaming, saying how cold-hearted a person I am because I did not even have the decency to give her a call. That is what is expected and I was being despicable. I said I'm sorry, but I did not really think I should be calling her since I don't want anything to do with her, no matter the situation. The call did not end well to say the least. I discussed it with my friends, and some are on my side, but some are saying that I did really behave like an arsehole. So, am I the arsehole in this? Now the whole thing sounds a bit weird to me in this situation, and I'm going to tell you straight away that this post was flagged as an everyone sucks post, and I can see why it was flagged that way, and I think it's simply because, you know, while you're not the arsehole for the whole situation and separating from her and not wanting anything to do with her, which is absolutely fine. I mean, she cheated on you multiple times. You're absolutely fine to feel that way. But to text and verify this guy's death and then just nothing afterwards and then just give the condolences and that sort of stuff and that's it. It seems a bit insensitive in a way to just do that. There was probably better ways to find out this information rather than texting your ex, which, you know, the feelings between you, there's somewhat there still, and it just feels like you're trying to rub salt into the wound in some kind of way, which I know OP probably isn't, but it could come across that way in some form. But we'll check out some of the comments to see what they say on this situation. So we had Nanny Live saying, everyone sucks here, I'm afraid. She sounds awful and you're right to avoid her, but if you didn't care enough to follow up, it was very odd behaviour to text Anne just to verify the news of the death. It would have been kinder to either ignore her completely or send a condolence note after verifying another way. I've been asked to acknowledge that OP did in fact express condolences in the text exchange. I was also asked to change my judgment, but I cannot. The initial texted question was very inappropriate. Gay and Hangry says, I'm gonna go with everyone sucks here. Why you owe her nothing for how your relationship ended is still kind of weird and insensitive that you asked her directly if you didn't want any more contact. Didn't you have any other acquaintances to confirm the news? Also, on the whole straight gay debacle, it's always good to remember bisexuality exists. Edit, just to make it clear because people are assuming this, I'm not trying to excuse Anne's behaviour. She didn't repeatedly cheat on OP because she's probably bi, she did it because she sucks. And BCL says, you're the arsehole. If you didn't want anything to do with her, why did you text her in the first place? You seem addicted to drama, staying with her while she repeatedly cheats and then inserting yourself into her tragedy, only to come on here and tell us you don't want involved. And Canadian Anonymous says, everyone sucks here, she sounds pretty awful, but if you want nothing to do with her, why would you text her? Just delete all her contact info. Now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys to see what you think of the situation. Do you think OP isn't the arsehole at all in the situation? Do you think they are the arsehole for texting and finding out this information? Do you think it's insensitive? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, once again, guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you did enjoy today's stories. And if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. And if you're feeling extra spicy, you can click that join button or the Patreon link and go over there and join up there. It really does help out our channel, really pushes the channel forward, and I can't express that enough. Thank you so much for being you. I hope you have an awesome day ahead of you, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully if you enjoyed. Much love, guys. Goodbye.